Hi everyone, I'm Z and Gemma. Welcome back to the OkayAfrica studios. Today we're joined by royalty. We have Madame Angelique Kidjo in the house. Hi.
Royalty, no royalty here.
Well, to us.
Nah,
How are you?
I'm not royalty, so I don't like royalty stuff.
No, well, okay. We see you as ethereal. An ethereal being is here with us
Okay, I'll take that. Whatever
Okay.
you say about royal stuff,
today. How are you doing today?
good. Can't
Good.
complain.
Good.
Jet
Okay.
lag, but hey, that's my natural state. Pretty much every day.
The people want you. I'm sure you're going in all kinds of directions.
Yeah, but it's good for me.
Right.
It keeps me young.
And we're happy to have you always. You are an industry veteran. There's no one who's created a career and a catalog of music the way you have, and it has been so admirable to experience. But in your experience, what has been the biggest change in the African music industry from when you first put out Paracore?
The way of doing album has been completely different.
How so?
When I started, you need a record company, you need an agent, you need a management, you need a touring company. The whole system has changed completely. Today, you can just do your music and put it on internet, and that's it. So it's really amazed me to see those young musicians today without television, nothing, newspaper, nothing, and they fill out arenas. And I'm like, I told you before, that wave is coming. You come to the boat or you just sink. That's your problem. But that's what it is going on today. But it's also going to be difficult to maintain because what does having a record company and a structure around you mean? It means you have to strategize and you have to think forward. When you're doing an album, it's a whole process. You think about how how you're gonna put the first song. The difficult thing is the first and the last song. Everything you can put in the middle is you can just do a jambalaya. They do the moyo or whatever you wanna do. But the first and the last song is always the most complicated. And having a record company also, and you have a good A&R in a record company, that helps a lot. And I was lucky to have Chris Blackwell as my A&R for the 10 first years of my career. And that make a huge difference.
Okay, so the support of an institution in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and then with people that believe in you, because when you're signed somewhere, you're not believed in what you do, and it's difficult to really do anything meaningful. And for me, the moment of truth I've been before I signed my contract, I said, I'm not signing any contract that would not allow me to be me, to do the music I want to do. I don't want to be imposed upon any music that I can't carry. I know where I come from, and I'm not doing anything but that. And Chris said, no problem. You do, we sell. I'm like, that's it, let's go. Let's go.
Period. And how do you think it's changed for women in the African music industry? Do you think that they're still facing the same struggles that you faced?
Oh boy, it's not gonna change anytime soon. We live in patriarchal. And that's something that we just step by step. We need to talk to the men and make them understand that they don't have any power if you don't have any power. And being a woman in any business is complicated, and the music business is a cutthroat. That's it. And you have to stand and be willing to say no to what you don't like, which is very difficult because it makes your life difficult to move forward. And but if your authenticity is there, and then you know what you're doing, and you really want to do what you want to do, then you take the time. Because no child is born and grow on the day it's born. It takes time for a child to walk, to speak. So I see life and everything in terms of steps. You have to take every step. You miss one step, one day that one step gonna catch up with you. So I just do whatever I want to do. I mean, I've been told when I was growing up that, hey, if you don't have, you lack something, don't do it. Because if you do it and you regret later on, nobody, it's only your fault. So me being in the music business, I was really, when I arrived in France, I was just like an ex, an ovni. It's just like, I arrived, and I was so naive, and my naivety protect me to some point because I always pick up my mind. I just didn't just come out of my mouth. Sometimes my husband is like, "Don't you have a filter?" I'm like, "Hey, the thing is blue. You're telling me to tell people it's green? No way. I can't do that. And it was fresh for people, but it created a lot of problem for me. But I just like, hey, if you wanna beat me on telling you the truth, so be it.
Okay. And speaking of steps, taking the right steps to get to where you want to go to, you, like you said, studied music in France and got, I would say, the momentum towards your career started in France. What intentional steps have you taken to ensure that you stay authentic to who you are as an African woman while being an international superstar?
What was important for me when I arrived, I wanted to be a lawyer, so I arrived too late to register in any university. And I have a friend, my best friend, when we were going to high school, we was with this. I mean, she's gonna do law business. Me, I'm like, no, I want human right law. She said, you always fighting for somebody's right. I said, well, if I don't have a right, somebody don't have, and if I have right, somebody have to have rights. So I went to the university. Sometime I tag along for some classes, and I started realizing that law is written by men, human being, and it doesn't serve justice all the time. And my sense of justice was something more important to me than being a lawyer. And from the moment I realized that to be a human rights lawyer, you have to study political science, I'm like, I don't have the energy for it. So I went to music school because my father always used to say, if you want to do something, you want to be good at what you do, find out your strength and your weakness and be the best at it. If you have to go to school to learn, yes, learn. What you learn in school, in real life, you have to be flexible. What you learn, if it doesn't work for this situation, it might work for another one. You have to know really the scope of who you are to be in a business or to do any job. So I spent 2 years in a school called Les Ateliers Chansons de Paris et d'Île-de-France, where I have to catch up with all the music from the 70s because the dictatorship arrived. I was 12 years, 72. So a lot of music have been banned from the radio. The music from Cuba, all those communist countries' music comes in, but the rest, British,
Right.
American, French, whatever, they didn't make it. And then I arrive, I'm like, I start discovering young, older French artists. I'm like, okay, let me catch up. And I needed to know what kind of voice I have because there's no music school when I started it. And I wanted to understand. And it was interesting, the first music school that I was, because I discovered classical music in a different way. And also the preconscious idea people have about you being a black person. And it's been a lot of moment where there are a couple of songs that I did based on that experience. My reimagination of the Ravel Bolero and Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child and a lot of things. Because every time I would say this is African, they would tell me, "Oh, come on, it's too sophisticated to be African. Nothing." I'm like, I'm sorry for your ignorance, but I'm telling you, it's African. If you don't know, I'm just telling you. So I spent 2 years there. I get sick of it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to jazz school, and I arrived at the jazz school. And the first day to register, and then it's a very old building, and they have, you have the stair, it goes like this, and then go that way because it's like two buildings linked together. So you you see the right, they said registration is straight, but there's no straight line. So you go like this. So I met two young girls coming down the stair, one blonde and one brunette. And I tell them, excuse, can you help me? I mean, I'm looking for the where I can register for the school. And they both look at me and they say, "You're African. You come from Africa, right?" I say, "Yes." And they say, "But what are you doing in the jazz school? Jazz is not for African people." I say, "Okay, just show me where I go." The founder of the school was in the corner. And when I finished registering, she told me, teach them what it is to sing the jazz. I know you can do it. So that's my welcome into the jazz world. And I just love it to listen to discover people like Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday. It was so emotional for me to hear all those voices. And it became complicated because the teacher in school, their vocal teacher, they were also didn't know how to deal with powerful voice because in their cultures there's no powerful voice. So I started having problem, and then I went to see a vocal coach from America that sent me to a vocal doctor, and they saved my voice, and that's it. That's how I'm here, because it takes the wrong person. If you have a surgery on your vocal cord, and if it's not well done, you can't sing anymore. So I was lucky.
Wow, having the right people around you.
That makes a huge difference. You cannot be successful if you think you can do it by yourself. It's never gonna work. No one succeeds alone. You need a team.
Okay, wise words. You touched on it briefly, but you have created music across genres: classical, jazz, Afro pop, Afro beats. Which genre has been the most exciting for you to explore, and which have been the more challenging ones?
They're all good for me because they all come from Africa.
Well, yep, yep.
So
So,
I don't pick and choose. It's the song that brings me to what I want to do. I am at the service of the song day in and day out. My ego serves one purpose, the song. If you cannot tell the story of a song, why are you there?
okay, wow, wow, you're just dropping so many bombs. Okay, you've been in the game for now 4 decades. Who were the African artists that were inspiring you throughout that time? Who did you grow up listening to?
I think that my inspiration started with the traditional musician in my country. You know, people that you speak so many different languages. I say you can't be African and speak one language because you leave from your town or your village, you go there, your language is different. So how are you going to do it? Of course, we use English and we can use French, but our native language is a totally different story. So, as I was a little girl, one of the things that really, really will make me move, even in my sleep, is hearing the drum. I will hear the drum. I don't care how far it is. You see me running, look, 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 and Mama says, "Where are you going?" I'm gonna find the rhythm. I'm finding the drums. I gotta go, and then I will go far, far, and far, and I will sat down. I will sit there playing. I was little. I mean, you put a shoe on me. The shoe for me is like, it's not allowing me to run fast enough. I throw the shoes away. Drums, rhythm is something that really make me leave the music. And even though I was listening to all those music from before, I mean James Brown, the early James Brown, the 70s, all the thing that was the the the, the thing that make me understand any music that come home was always me going to the traditional musician and say, "Do you know this rhythm? Can you play? You play James Brown, they're gonna kick it. Any music you play, they're gonna play." And then you go, okay, that's where I come from. So for me, when you giving name of this and this kind of music, I'm like, as long as the traditional musician in my country can jam in your song, I got no problem. I'll come with you. I'll go for you. Hey, let's go for it.
I mean, look at the material. You have a new album coming out called Hope with two exclamation marks. And it does feel like a kind of, not a combination, but you can tell that you just kind of, like you're saying, you follow good music. That's what the goal is. So, with going with the name of the album, what gives you hope today?
Life. Without hope, there's no life. If I don't have hope, why are we sitting here talking? Why do you wake up every morning if you don't have hope? We forget. I mean, hope is not just a word. We forget the hope is there because everything around us is taking our attention away from what is absolutely indispensable for us to hold on to. Because when you're miserable, you don't think. So why should I live with somebody else's misery? Why I would allow somebody to mess up with my head and my strength as a human being just for them to make money out of my misery? No. Hope is important for everything. Without hope, you can't plan anything. If without hope, you can't wake up in the morning. So if you don't wake up, you don't have hope. You might also be 6 feet under. What's else? What else is out there without hope? None. None, I swear. You know it and I know it.
Yes, ma'am. So, when you were creating this, you were wanting to give hope to people, but also keep it within yourself?
I think what started the whole process of this album was I was just like asking myself, am I gonna have to do another album? And we were talking with friends. We were having dinner, and a friend of mine said, "Angelique, can you think of 10 words that can define you and the value your family, your parents give you? I look at my friend and say, can you do that? 10 words, it's like, it seems like little, but a lot at the same time. And it's impossible to come up with those words. So I start thinking about it and I start putting words. One of the words that come is hope. This was there at the beginning. And from time to time between album, my husband and I, we just go to the studio. We have so many drums from Africa. We just play with things around and we just put stuff there. We are not really thinking of writing, but we know that this is coming from somewhere that we have to lay down. So on previous album, Mother Nature, I worked with a songwriter, singer-songwriter from Zimbabwe called Shungudzu Kuyiba. The first time we met during the pandemic, so we set up the Zoom, and then she said, before we start talking, I need to tell you something. I said, what? She said, I just talked to my dad, and I was telling my dad that I was gonna have a Zoom with you, and my dad said, now you're legit. I'm like, what does that mean? He said, it's not that music. I said, you know what? Don't blame your parents. Parents want the best for us. And sometimes it takes time for them to understand what we are really about to do because we are trying to figure it out. So don't ask them to be patient about what you want to do. So we wrote Modern Nature together. She has the ability to understand when I'm talking to her what I want to go. It's very rare because I've written songs with many people. It's so complicated because of difference of culture is difficult sometimes. And then I sent her a couple of words, and she answered, said, well, what is this? I said, well, this is somebody told me to write a couple of words down to see what defines me and the value my parents gave me. And she goes, there's some heavy stuff here. I said, will you come to Paris and we can work? Start working, we see where it takes us. She said, yes, I have time. So she came 1 week, and we come to the studio and we sat down. And then she goes, Angelique, this word, what are you going to say in this? I'm like, I don't know. But I feel like this is something that I want to talk about. So we start putting the stuff down. We written so many songs, finished, not finished. I was not in a hurry. And then my mom passed away June 2021, and I dropped everything. I'm like, okay, I come back to it because I know I can't not do music because my mom said, no matter whatever happened, you better continue singing. Otherwise, I'm going to come back and haunt you. I'm like, yeah, mom, I don't want that. So I'll continue singing. So the whole album has been rendezvous that haven't been missed. I didn't plan much of it. Things have been there. When I started working with Shungudzu, I was talking also with Diamond Platinum that sent me something. The song was there. Daju from France. The thing was everywhere. This pretty much. And I'm like, okay, now I need to fulfill my promise to my mother. Because my mom's favorite song is Malaika. And she always used to tell me, the day I'm no longer on this earth, I want you to sing Malaika to me before they put me into the grave, and I couldn't do it. So I said, let me focus on these words and this the thing that my mom been always talking about. My mom always tell us kindness is a bulletproof vest. That joy is a state of resistance. You gotta be, if you're joyful, same thing with kindness. Somebody that shoot kindness, there's nothing that can redeem his life. It's himself because there's nothing that is bad about being kind or having joy and expressing joy. So we start working, and then the song coming, and then I sent a DM to Diamond Platinum. I said, what am I gonna do with the song you sent me? He said, I was about to send you a message too. Say, how are we gonna finish the song? I said, you wanna finish now? He said, let's work on it. And within a week, it was done. So all the things have that kind of, it meant to be, and I always have that feeling. My mom is always somewhere there, especially when we were singing. I was doing the duet of Malak with the French singer Florent Pagny. Florent go, look at me. somebody's here with us. I said, don't mind, it's my mom. Just let's sing, right? Let's just do this thing. Same thing. I mean, I was invited to do the Grace concert with Pharrell. And as I was sitting at it, we were supposed to meet the Pope, and we were sitting. I'm like, oh crap, I've been here 6 months ago. I was there in December, and out the same room I met the Pope Francis. And 6 months after that, I'm like, Mom, what the heck is going on? How are you doing? And his speech was really encouraging and really important. And then the next day, we were doing sound check in the afternoon. Pharrell was sitting behind the grand piano, and I did La Vida es un Carnaval from Celia Cruz with the house band. And then he jumped and come to me and said, do you have any out work coming out pretty soon? I said, pretty soon, yes, I have something. He said, can I write a couple of songs for you? He said, one song. I said, yeah, I'll take one song. From one song, we end up to have three songs on the album. And it's been a process also to see somebody that is possessed by music. And his brain, I don't know how. Maybe just different in the way we do it. Some people you see that they have something different. And working with Farah has been all the way just pure joy, and I just enjoy working with him. So nothing really have been, I mean, same thing. I mean, out of the blue, we're masterizing the album, and then Ira starts singing her song. I'm like, oh, the title remind me. My mom always telling people that always complain, you only have one life. Are you gonna spend your life complaining, or are you gonna leave? Ayeka means one life. I say, mom has come into many different channels to help me grieve and to never sink into the grave. My mom will not ever like that, because she's always the person that's forward, 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 forward. You got things to do. You gotta see yourself in the present, in the past, in the future. You always have to do what you have to do. So that's what hope is about. That's why there are two exclamations: one for me, one for my mother.
Oh, amazing. Wow. Okay, so creating this project has been, like you said, you're following the music, you're following the beat,
Always.
and you've collaborated with so many amazing artists on this album, like you said, Pharrell, Davido, Fally Ipupa, Ira Star. When you were putting it together, how did you decide who would go where, who would stay, who would maybe go in the
It was
next
so
project?
complicated because, I mean, we wrote 21 or 22 songs.
Wow.
There are still some songs that have already been masterized that are there. Perhaps we're gonna do a deluxe September. I don't know what we're gonna do. But the thing is, it was not complicated. It was I have to think about what my mom will do, because she's a theater woman. She writes theater. She conducts the theater. She always said, even writing is theater, because your introduction to a book is what makes people want to read the rest of the book and eager to wait till the end of the book. So we said together, the first thing that had to come in is Bendo. And we knew what was going to be the last. We knew Malika have to be the like a bookend, and the rest we went through. We didn't even think about the rhythm. We just put it on as it goes. And we chop the one that didn't make it naturally to there first, because there is this one of the song that is called Best. Between that and Big Heart, I was torn, and I'm like, which one, which one, which one, which one, which one? I said, let me put Big Heart first. There's always gonna be another life of Best. So that's what we do.
Okay. And what about your relationship with music, your relationship with yourself creating music felt different creating Hope?
It's the luxury of time, because most of the time before you're like, oh, we gotta do an album in 3 years. I'm like, I don't care. I ain't doing nothing until I'm ready. It's until feel like this album I can tour it around the world without going to, ugh, I want to go home. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's not what I'm not that kind of person. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna do it, because you ain't going to stay on stage and and faking something. You gotta be on stage, as my mom said, to be naked spiritually. Otherwise, don't go there. So it's important that I had the luxury also to take my time without the record company telling me we need the album right now, because they understood that I needed the time. I needed from time to time to set my grief aside and focus on the song. So I think you cannot do anything that doesn't come from within.
Mm-hmm.
You give hate because you have hate in you. You give love because you have love in you. So that's how I see my job. I love singing and I love sharing. Because if you don't share with the public, if you can share it, what are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be humble. That's it. If you don't have anything to give, it's complicated for you to get any public that come back. So my personal life is my personal life. When I'm home, I cook. That's the only thing that relaxes me.
Oh.
Chopping and cooking my own food. I love to cook.
Yeah. Do you like to be alone or do you like to have support?
I don't care. I can be talking to you and cooking.
Okay.
And I never cook a recipe as it's written in the book. Some of them are in my head. And I always mix the same thing I do with music. I mix stuff from everywhere. I can have people from all over the world come home. I'm like, I'll pick one thing or two things from different country and put it with my African dish in the middle of it. You can eat the choucroute with my face. You don't like it, don't come. That's it. I mean, that's who I am.
And who
I
you
take
are.
Africa with me all the time, everywhere.
And look at you go.
And no, not apologizing to anybody.
No.
That's what it is.
Okay. Album's out. Summertime is coming. What are you excited about?
I'm excited of having an album out and going on stage. That's what I love. I don't like studio at all.
No.
I get bored. Damn, I can't stand the machine, man. Uh-uh. Unless I have the musician in the studio. That's exactly what happened when we were in LA. The caveman, the Sheila. Ooh, man. The studio was grooving. We were just like, I was like, yeah, baby, that's how I like it. Hey, then I stayed there for freaking whole day. I can sleep there too. It doesn't, because when you're doing music together, the music sound always different. And that's what I wanted. I wanted people to come. This is what we start doing. Let's bring you guys to play it. How do you feel about it? The song I'm on Fire totally changed. From the moment the caveman arrived, I said, there's something about this song that I know is not right. I like the lyrics, I like the melody, but I want something different. Can we try? Okay. From the first, I'm like, that's it. This is what I want. And I resung this. I sung the song immediately. And then we find, and then they go, we need a trumpet in this song. I said, you know somebody? Oh, Sheila is here. Call her. We called Sheila. Sheila came and, I mean, the album, that's the way it works. It's like if you plan something too much, sometimes you are taken by the time to do it. I'm like, this is my, you have time, you come. It's 2 hours, do what you can within the 2 hours. And then you leave. But we were just like having the best time ever. And I like it.
And that always translates when we listen to your music, see you perform. It's so palpable how much you enjoy what you do.
Otherwise, I'm not doing it. What's the point?
For who?
That's it. That's what I said.
Right.
If I have fun, the public will have fun. That's how it is. I mean, the thing people don't understand, you cannot fool the public. They come in, they see you exactly like you are. They're like, oh, he's too busy looking at his this and doing this, doing that.
Right.
Me, my stage outfit have to be made proper. And I don't have to touch nothing on my clothes. Focus on singing.
Mm-hmm. No fur coat taking off. None of that.
I can do that.
No.
But me, this one, after 2 songs, my head is, my brain is so hot, I just go, throw it away, I'm out.
That's a costume change.
People like that. I'm like, no, it's not that costume change. Like I need my head to be free. I don't want anything to be giving me some heat here.
Okay, on that note, thank you so much for stopping by to chat with us. Wishing you all the best with this new album and your
Thanks for
continued
sitting and
success.
talking with me. It's fun.
Of course, always. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.